Welcome back to another episode of Just Two Guys Talking. I'm your host, George Vargas, with my co-host, John. Hello, John.
Hi, George. How you doing?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome. I'm loving Southern California weather right now. What do you got up there?
It is actually a little chilly. Well, I should say California chilly.
California
It's
chilly.
dipping into the 40s at night.
So I went on I did a coastal ride today. I'm riding by the beach
hmm
and they're playing volleyball. So girls volleyball, men's volleyball. So I took a video for my Strava. So, equal opportunity, not being selective in exploiting women or exploiting men. They both got exploited, if you will.
Equally.
Equally, yes. So yeah, bikinis playing volleyball December the 11th. So I don't know, 78 degrees Fahrenheit in December. Okay,
Oh,
so
beautiful.
we're going to talk about some recalls. We are going to talk about some counterfeit product that's out there or has been captured. We're also going to talk about, some things that are going well and some things that are not going so well for a few companies.
hmm
And then we'll also talk about helmet safeties. If this is the type of content that you folks like, just make a comment down below. Hey, I'm liking these longer form videos. Please drop a comment down below where you are watching from. Okay, so you want to get started?
Yep, let's go. Full send.
Full, full send. Trek is in the news again.
hmm
Trek has a recall for 700 Domani Plus.
700.
Yeah, 700, 700. So remember the last time it was 68,000.
hmm
So I guess their quality is getting
They're
better.
improving. Yeah.
They are improving. So they have 700 Domani Plus, Checkpoint Plus e-bike models because the chain ring bolts can loosen, posing a fall and crash hazard. The models are, let's see, 2026 models of Domani Plus ALR5, Domani Plus ALR6, which I'm guessing is aluminum. That's what their
Yeah.
nomenclature is on their regular pedal bikes. Access, Checkpoint Plus SL6, Checkpoint Plus SL7. 3 incidents of the chain rings loosening without injury have been reported. So that's great.
hmm
We're back to that $20 in-store credit. Remember that one? We'll give you 20 so you can spend 40.
hmm
And the credit is valid through December 31, 2026. So you got some time to spend it.
Okay, a whole year. Yeah.
Whole year. Yep. Now let's talk about the dates. The dates these were sold between July 2025 and September 2025. They range between $5,000 and $8,000. So we've got the $300, $500 kids bikes that have issues. We've got the $5,000, $8,000 bikes that have issues.
hmm
Chainring bolts. Now this brings up a point for me. I often get people that want me to. They bought their bike somewhere else. They say, "Oh, can you build it for me? I bought it from ABC shop."
hmm
Maybe an online shop that just sells direct, or maybe it was another bike shop. And they ask me how much is it going to be, and I say, well, here's the thing. One, I need to take it out of the box, all the packaging material that takes time.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to give it a tune-up.
hmm
And they're like, well, it's a brand new bike. It was built by, and I'm like, well, look, I'm the last person to touch that bike before it goes out on the road.
hmm hmm
And so if I pull it out of the box and all I do is take the styrofoam packaging off and air up the tires and send you on your way, I'm liable if you crash, if the chainring
hmm
bolts are loose, if the fork steer, whatever, just anything that would be looked at in a tune-up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have to unbox the bike plus charge them a tune-up. I find that there is some objection sometimes, and then sometimes, especially if it's a parent and something's for their children, they're like, do it. There- there's no questioning my
Hmm.
methodology. They understand why I'm doing it. So
Hmm.
that's the only thing I'm thinking about here. What are your thoughts on this chainring bolts
I was
situation?
actually curious if I was like looking through the article and I didn't see if it was specifying if it was a Shimano or a SRAM. Because part of me kind of thinks like, wouldn't this kind of be their fault? Because doesn't the crankset kind of come to Trek in the factory as a unit, sort of?
Well,
I
that's a
mean,
good point.
yeah, but I guess the main point of that is why is Trek being held responsible if it's somebody else's part that that's kind
Well,
of faulty.
it's part of the assembly.
Yeah, I guess Trek assembles it. That's probably my only guess is what's
It's
going on there.
it's probably the same thing I'm saying now, right?
Yeah.
They're now liable because they were the last point of
Mm-hmm.
inspection before issuing and delivering to a customer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where it falls, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then
So,
also on a little bit of a detour on that,
yeah,
the in our last podcast with Fergus, we had talked a little bit about Terry Shaw in the Bay Area
yeah.
and Fergus's connection and the Garden City connection. And Terry's shop was, I guess you would say, infamous for when they would receive a bike, they would completely strip down the bike and reassemble. Um, Probably overkill in most cases, but that way, that was one of their selling points was, hey, you're getting a very well put together bike because I would definitely trust Terry and Jerry putting together the bike versus the factory.
Mm,
Um, that was their reputation. That's how reputable Terry and Jerry's store was
yeah,
in Santa Clara.
right. Well, yeah, I mean they took it seriously.
Yeah.
We're the last point of QC here. We got to get it right
Hmm.
before it's
Hmm.
issued to a customer.
Yeah, and like I said, it's probably overkill in most cases, probably unnecessary,
Yeah.
but they were that I guess passionate would probably be the right word to describe it.
Did you get a chance to see the Cube recall?
Yes, I did. I got a chance to read that article also.
Well, this one's a big one because this one is 16 bike models and all frame sizes.
Hmm.
I don't know. They didn't give a number.
Just
Now,
all of them, it seems like.
yeah, they didn't say, 6,000, 5,000. They didn't
Yeah.
say. Now, here's the thing with this one. Apparently, they changed the way they were doing their carbon resin, mixture layup or whatever. So
Hmm.
here's what it says. Cube has announced a product safety recall for its Agree C62 road bike from the 2025-26 model years sold before November 30th. All frame sizes are affected. Quick question. Have you seen
Hmm.
any cubes on the road?
I've seen very few
But
of
you have?
them. I have, and I don't know if they still did it, but they had that kind of squarish down tube
Yep.
to kind of go with their name.
Yep.
I don't know if they've rounded it to be more arrow,
Right, right.
since that's kind of where everybody was going. But yes, I do remember seeing some cubes, and they had that. I
Mm.
don't know if it was more gimmick or if it had any structural advantages going with a squarish down tube.
Yeah, I mean, Cervelo did that way, 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 way back. Squoval, they call that.
Squabble. They
Yeah,
even
so
invented a name for it.
yeah, because it was square and it was oval, right? Because they shaved off the
Mm.
edges. Yeah, squoval.
Hmm.
So here's what they say happened. After analyzing a small number of reported cases of cracks forming above the brake mount, So I don't know if I covered this. It's the fork.
Yes, it's the
I'm sorry.
fork.
Okay, yeah. It's the fork. Now, we know that when it comes to disc brake bikes, you have to reinforce the fork leg. Let me
Mm-hmm.
raise my hand a little bit. So the left fork leg is the issue that they're having with this layup process or with this resin. So apparently, in model year has resulted in isolated forks having an insufficient resin content in the area.
Mm-hmm.
The forks affected by this issue do not adequately meet our standards under excessive braking. Excessive braking force of the said fork may cause the outermost carbon layers to delaminate, resulting in cracks and significantly weakening the fork structure
Mm-hmm.
through the complete failure of the left fork blade. The described product defect increases the risk of an accident when used when or I'm sorry, which can cause material damage, serious injury, or even the D word.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right, so 16 different models, all frame sizes are affected. There will be a link to check the serial number. Please stop riding this bike until it is checked by an authorized dealer. They are a German company, so I'm surprised that this got past them.
Mm-hmm. This is almost another plug for a rim brake because yeah, since the brake is on one fork, that fork needs to be probably reinforced more than the other one, or you're just beefing up the
Both legs just so
both
that, yeah,
unnecessarily kind of to balance them.
yeah.
And we see it in the wheels too. The spokes need to be beefed up on the braking side also. So it's like we're trying to solve a problem and creating other problems for it.
Yes, it's job security for engineers, that's for sure. It is definitely job security for them. Right. Well, let's move on to a little bit of a feel-good story. Did you see the story on BTI, which is Bicycle Technologies International? Did you see that they're relocating?
Yes, I saw that they're going from, I believe it was Arizona to Sparks, Nevada.
Well, actually, they have separate warehouses.
Hmm.
So their headquarters
Oh,
is
headquartered
in New
New
Mexico.
Mexico, New Mexico.
Nope, you're good. I'm glad that you at least knew that there were two different locations. The Nevada location, they moved to another Nevada location about, let me see, did it say a mile away or a block away? What did it say here? Half a mile away
Oh, very close.
with a 50% increase in footprint. So now this I wanted to talk about this article briefly because there are two items. The first is a lot of my distributors are either scaling back or even closing,
Hmm.
right? And that's pretty scary because, well, that's where I get my stuff from. The bigger ones, like Quality Bicycle Products, QBP, that's for all intent and purposes the largest distributor.
Hmm.
Some of the others are kind of like, well, we're going to close this location because they have multiple warehouses. And some are closing down for good,
Hmm.
like Euro Asia, which is a European Asian importer, just super niche stuff, really cool stuff, track stuff, just it's nice to have that other distributor for those kinds of things. Yeah, I mean, you don't go there to get just, tires and tubes, Well, you can get tires there. They're different tires, but
Hmm.
if you just want tires, you go to QBP. And then Hawley, which, well, it was Hawley, then it went HLC. I believe they're closing one of their warehouses. Then there's one here in LA, KHS, and they've been around probably 50 years as well.
Hmm. Are
They
they
have,
the same as the bicycle frame
yeah,
manufacturer? Oh, okay, okay.
yeah,
So they're
yeah.
also a general supplier of stuff.
Yeah, they have made bikes for a long, long time, and then
Hmm.
they are a distributor, yes,
Hmm.
for bike shops. They have an office in Kentucky, or warehouse in Kentucky to service that side of the country, and then the
Hmm.
other one is here, like right outside Compton. So the real estate's probably pretty cheap,
Hmm.
but yeah, they're having to close. So it's just yeah, the times are hard out there.
Hmm.
Times are really hard. But it's very interesting to see BTI having so much confidence in the marketplace that they move to a bigger. Now, it could have been their lease ran out and they had to move anyway or
Hmm.
something, right?
Hmm.
Maybe their lease ran out, the increase in rent was going to be so high that they looked around and said, "Oh, well, look, here's another space,
Hmm.
that's got more storage space for us, and it's only going to be a little bit more than what we were going to pay here." I don't know. Could
Yeah,
be
and
that.
from what I know in general about Sparks, Nevada, it seems like everybody has a warehouse there. I know TireRack.com. I've seen my tires come from Sparks. Amazon has stuff shipping out of Sparks.
Nevada's very business friendly in for taxes and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I don't know all of that, but I do know that they are friendlier for that for those reasons. The other thing that I wanted to talk about that I thought was really cool, and I don't know if you noticed it, but towards the bottom of the article, they say the Spark staff
Hmm.
can
Hmm.
utilize BTI's Green Machine benefit that pays employees cash to ride, walk, or take public transit to work.
That's awesome.
One less car,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
one less car. And I like that when companies promote that. Now, there's areas of the country that either unsafe because of traffic or the weather is not friendly, but whenever you can, it's great to promote that type of health in your organization. I mean, maybe even their
Hmm.
insurance rates are cheaper. I don't know how that works, but
Hmm. Yeah, I would imagine nobody's walking to work in winter in Sparks right now.
well, yeah, I don't know. I guess I could look up the weather
Yeah. Well,
in.
I've driven through there going on 80, going east,
Uh-huh.
and from what I remember, it was there was a lot of snow.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Um,
But maybe they're used to it. I mean, life doesn't stop in Finland or Sweden, so
yeah,
life
no,
goes
no,
on.
no, or Alaska for that matter.
Yeah.
Specialized credits AliExpress and Chinese law enforcement for the largest counterfeit bust in brand's history. Did you
Yeah.
see this article?
Bravo.
First of all, having to do this in the first place is the problem.
Yeah.
It's like there was a fire, we caught the arsonist,
Hmm.
but the damage is done, we still have the fire, right?
Hmm.
In this case, let me read you what's going on here. AliExpress says it worked with Specialized and Chinese law enforcement to dismantle two counterfeit manufacturing operations in China, leading to the seizure of $1.5 million worth of fake product, including, this must be a typo, it says Specialized Roval frames. I
Roll
think the
wheels
comma's in
and
the wrong
frames.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, Specialized frames, Roval handlebars and wheels,
Hmm.
fake Pinarello, Cannondale, Cervelo, and Trek products. The thing is, are these people buying this stuff because they know, or okay, they see the price, so they say, I'm going to get that
Hmm.
because I can't afford the real product? Or are people being duped in buying that product thinking, oh my God, look, there's a tarmac, whatever. It's $3,000 cheaper than over here at Specialized store down the street from me. What do you
I
think?
would have to believe they know it's fake. I
They know it's
mean,
fake?
if you're buying something name brand, on AliExpress or Temu or whatever uh, overseas retailer, and it's significantly cheaper. I mean, how many warnings have we had of just stuff in general? If it looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Well, let's read on. The the counterfeit products imitating specialized high performance goods not only infringe on intellectual IP, intellectual property rights, but also pose serious risks to consumer safety. These
Mm-hmm.
fake items often bypass stringent quality and safety standards, potentially endangering users and undermining consumer trust in the legitimate products. Specialized has tested these counterfeit cycling helmets and frames, and they fail safety standards, sometimes catastrophically. To the onlooker out in the on the road, sometimes you don't even know that someone's riding a fake frame unless you're like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you do. You build specialized frames all day long and you see something that's just a little off with that one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you a story about someone who came to me. Now he's a friend of a friend. We'll call him John.
Oh, thanks.
No offense. All right, then let's call him
Oh,
Jimmy.
let's go with John. Let's go with John.
Let's go with John. And he had a Cinderello.
Mm-hmm.
He had a Cinderello. It was white, which I guess is one of the easier paint jobs to fake. And he brought it to me to build for him. He had bought his group set somewhere else. It was all like, it was none of it was in original packaging. It all came in baggies and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
we call that the gray market. So it's not black market,
Mm-hmm.
gray market. It's kind of in the middle. It's probably a frame takeoff or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes OE original equipment. Sometimes these companies just get rid of all this product because they got
Mm-hmm.
too much of it and they just got
Yeah.
to unload it. So he had this really ridiculous pricing on some Duri's componentry. He had the Cinderello. I don't remember what wheels he had. But when I started building that frame and I was, getting my hands inside there and doing stuff, I mean, I was cutting my hands on
Oh.
some of this carbon fiber because it was unfinished.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Stuff inside there and stuff. And I thought to myself, I think this guy brought this frame to me because he was in the next county north of me, Orange County, because he didn't want to bring it to any of the bike shops up there in his local riding area, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The shame of having a mechanic from Orange County to build his bike and know that it was a Cinderello, then of course it would be out. Oh, Jim has a freaking fake Pinarello.
Mm-hmm.
And being here in San Diego, I guess he thought, and look, it's been years. I'm
Mm-hmm.
finally talking about it. And no, I'm not even using his name, right? Now, the other thing was his derailleur hanger was bent in shipping. And so
Mm-hmm.
I told him, I said, derailleur hangers are designed to break. So if I try to bend this back,
Yeah.
you, you know, there is a Pinarello dealer nearby. You'll have to drive over there and get it.
Yeah. And hopefully it fits.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Well, I literally breathed on that thing with the derailleur alignment tool and it snapped.
Mm-hmm.
So not even the derailleur hanger was of any quality. It just snapped.
I have a Cinderello story of my own where me and my friends, we were doing the Sea Otter. And at the very end of the Sea Otter, you're climbing back up into Laguna Seca. And it's a pretty decent climb. It's probably 10%-ish most of the way.
Yeah.
And everybody's grumbling because it's a tough climb.
Yep.
And I got up to this group of riders and there was a Pinarello and there aren't many Pinarellos. I said, "Oh, hey, nice Pinarello, nice bike." And then he kind of muttered under his breath, "Yeah, it's fake." So at least he
He
admitted
admitted
to it.
it.
He admitted it.
Oh,
He admitted.
well,
I said, "Wow, it looks pretty good." Um, but then as we kept going, he started slowing down more and more and more. and grumbling and grumbling and grumbling more and more and more. And so now, whenever we think about it, none of us wants to be the grumbling guy on the Chinarello on a climb. I think he even ended up walking a bit, and that's how we were able to get away from him.
Yeah. Well, now I look at this and I look at the fact that we're talking about handlebars and stems. So yeah, if you're liking this content, please subscribe. Just take a minute to hit that like button and subscribe. Hit that little thumbs up thing. Helmet safety. Now let me ask you this. When's the last time you purchased a helmet?
Probably during the pandemic, during COVID. During COVID's when I got my last helmet.
You know, they say you're supposed to replace it every 2 to 3 years.
Yeah,
They say.
they say.
They say. Well, here's the thing. I was watching a GCN video because I like to consume some of that so I can see what I can interpret to my audience. I actually was agreeing with them, which I found odd. Sometimes I'm just like I'm throwing rotten tomatoes at the television set. But they were talking about the Virginia Tech study, and I guess
hmm
there's a new helmet that they were talking about and that it ranked high.
hmm hmm
And I'd like, for our viewers down below to, pick a reason and list it down below. The last time you bought a helmet, did you buy it because it was safe on the Virginia Tech study, which is supposed to be independent?
hmm
Did you buy it because you liked the color? Maybe it was unique. Maybe it was the only one you'd ever seen that way. It matches your kit. It matches your bike. It matches your shoes. You wanted that color.
It's got the mohawk on it.
Or three, you like the way it looked, the shape of it, the ventilation. So, was it because it was safe? Was it because of its color? Basically, its aesthetics or its shape and all that.
Yeah,
So
can I
now
add two more? Two more, George?
oh, you got two
One,
more.
yeah, one would be price
Okay.
because, it met your price point, and the other
Yeah.
one would be fit. If you have a weird shaped head, this one fit great.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a very practical. I was looking more at things that are just foolish, right?
hmm
Just
hmm
oh, so I will go first.
hmm
I have yet to buy a helmet by looking at the its safety rating
hmm
in decades. I will look at a helmet. I like the shape of it. I like the way it looks. I'm buying it from a reputable brand. I'm
hmm
buying it through
hmm
my retailer, wholesaler, distributor channel. I know I don't have a counterfeit
Yeah,
product.
this isn't the AliExpress helmet.
Yeah, which we did a recall thing on that.
hmm
And I also know that if it's being sold in the US, it has to pass the same safety standards as all the other helmets that are out there
hmm
to begin with. In fact, Cask doesn't even do MIPS because they don't believe in it, right?
hmm
So, what about you?
Yeah, so I got mine because it was the 3D printed custom helmet by I believe it's Cav Sports. Um and I have an
Oh, that's
unusual
right.
head. hmm
Duke said something about it.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. So my helmet is 3D printed to fit me. Um, and it's great, but I did not look at the safety specs on it. One thing that convinced me it was safe because they also make ice hockey helmets. So
And
I know
you
that
have,
these are different types of impacts, but if they do it for that sport, should be good for bicycling.
I mean, I think it's important. I mean, let's make sure that that doesn't get lost in this conversation. I think it's important that the helmet is safe,
hmm
obviously.
hmm
But I also tend to think like, at least with the helmets I purchase, they're all helmets that they're not from an unknown brand. They're from a brand that had to do the testing.
Yeah, they meet a kind of a minimum safety level.
Right. Yeah. And to be approved for sale in the US,
Mm-hmm.
just like that helmet at Target that's $15,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they still had to meet the same standards. It just, and maybe we'll talk about this briefly. Some may wonder why a helmet is $100, $200, $300.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of times, and this is just, remember, we're just two guys talking here, so we're not experts in anything, right? A lot of times it's because this helmet has to pass safety standards, but it has to have all this ventilation, has to have
Mm-hmm.
all of these holes, it has to have all this stuff, it has to have some aerodynamic properties to it, and it still needs to be, light as a feather,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Compared to these other helmets. That costs a little bit of extra money,
Mm-hmm.
right? The materials you have to use to make a helmet light, but still be safe to protect your noggin.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the simplest way to explain why one helmet costs more than another.
Yeah. And to be fair, I've looked at the Virginia Tech list, and there are some very cheap helmets, cheap in price, that rate very high on their tests.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with buying an inexpensive helmet.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always have to buy the most expensive helmet. Like you said, you could find a helmet that rates really well and doesn't cost very much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Well, that's my thing on helmets and helmet safety. Well, let's talk about favorite,
Oh,
your favorite, your
I feel it in my heart already.
your favorite Campagnolo having to lay off 40% of their workforce.
Yeah. Ouch.
24
Ouch.
million euros of losses over the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Campagnolo, like Shimano and others, has faced headwinds since the end of COVID-related industry boom. Those include US tariffs. Tariffs are freaking stupid. I'll just get that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Those include new US tariffs on European imports, with Italy saddled with a 15% reciprocal tariff, in addition to the pre existing duties on bike parts, which are 11%,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the component. The new 15% tariff on EU imports is lower than the tariffs on parts from Taiwan and other Asian manufacturing nations.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, there was I guess, a cash influx here. In June, Cherry Bank, an Italian bank, provided 8.5 million euros in financing for Campagnolo to make their 13 speed for the use in the development and launch of the 13 speed group. Boy, I am tongue tied today. I guess the question I have to pose to you is, John,
Mm-hmm.
you're the new CEO of Campagnolo. Fix it.
Fix it. Wow.
What would you
No
do?
pressure. I I would find a way to get back into OEM bikes, to have more bikes delivered from the factory as is. If that means bringing back Centaur or Veloce or whatever that lower price point group set is, that to me that's a start
Yeah.
where you have to get that going first. Um, and then from there, I would almost say just start giving the group set to the pro teams because I was reading the article that this one was originally linked to, and it said so right now the Cofidis team is the only one using Campy in the pro peloton, and it mentions in the article in 2026 they are in danger of relegation, of getting kicked out of the pro peloton, which means we're going to be in that situation again where Campy's not represented. I think, was it 2 years ago there was no Campy team? Um, Something like that. But I mean, that's Campy has always kind of prided itself that it's a racing group set, and so they need to they need to show up in the races. Yeah.
All right, CEO, but we just laid off
We just
120,
laid off half the
120 of
company.
our people.
Yeah, half the company.
And CEO, how are we going to produce that many groups to fulfill the hungry habits of
Yeah,
the OE market?
that I don't know. That I don't have a good answer. If I'm
But I
correct, they,
but I
oh
know
yeah.
I I know Giuseppe over here. He's he can build us a few group sets, but
Hmm.
and then his cousin is in Romania. He can build us some group
Yeah, so there's
sets.
five.
And then his other cousin is in I don't know, pick a country. So
Yeah,
not made in Italy anymore then.
yeah. The manufacturing will have to change somehow. Um, and I know that that's been kind of a nice thing with Campy is like made in Italy, or Romania, their sister company or sister country, I guess. Um, yeah, but somehow that will need to change so they can put out that kind of volume.
That's the thing. If you're going to put out that kind of volume, you really need to scale up
Yeah,
machining, tooling.
and all that needs money that we don't have.
We need to go back to Cherry Bank and get more money.
Hmm. Cherry Bank or somebody with deep pockets.
Which,
We could go to Josh Portner. He bought Silka, right? And so he kind of saved them. Here's his chance.
well, I mean, here's the thing, and I have been thinking about this. Someone could just let them just dangle out there in the wind for a while
Hmm.
and then come in and swoop them up on
Yeah.
pennies on the dollar.
Wh- Which company do you think is kind of eyeing that?
Well, I don't have
Who do you
any.
think would?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, this could come from outside the cycling industry, really.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if we talk in terms of who's been doing this for a long time, it would be SRAM.
Hmm.
SRAM wanted a wheel company, they bought Zip. SRAM wanted a power meter company, they bought Quark. SRAM wanted a cycling computer, they brought in Hammerhead. Oh, they needed
Hmm.
clothing, they got Velocio. They wanted mountain bike stuff, they got Truvative. I mean, they've
Hmm.
always just acquired the expertise or the product
Hmm.
somewhere else and without them having to organically make it and
Hmm.
hire the engineers to, hey, we need a power meter, make one. Yeah, but wait, Quark already makes a pretty good one. Now, I wouldn't think that they would have any interest in purchasing Campagnolo. I'm just saying that
Hmm.
that's the type of company that type of business model. There's a company out there that probably does that.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe one of these big conglomerates. I'm in my head, I'm thinking of the Cervelo one because I think they're part of
Han,
yeah, they're part of a much bigger group that owns stuff.
I mean, I wonder if it has to be some type of a bike manufacturer that says, okay, well, we'll bring in all these group sets so that we
Hmm.
can start putting them out. Now,
Hmm.
I know what you're saying about OE, and this is a very good point because I think they've kind of lost the plot here.
Yeah.
It's great to have the exclusivity and to be a top ranging group where you're $4,000 for the group set only, whatever the price is of Super Record 13.
Hmm.
13 gears?
13? Yeah, 13
Really?
gears.
No, no. I'm being sarcastic. 13? Really? Doesn't make you any faster.
Hmm.
We need the bigger cogs and the little cogs. The stuff in the middle is pretty much useless. If you're an Italian group set, you got the Dolomites and you got all that other stuff over there. You're not really worried about what's in the middle, right? You want to be
Yeah.
able to climb and you want to be able to descend
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
sprint, right? For the
Yeah.
line. But but here's the thing, like where is there affordability I mean, if you look at SRAM, if you look at Shimano, their breadth of product
Oh
range,
yeah.
the just the amount. I mean, look, Shimano introduced Qs. I don't know much about it,
Mm-hmm.
but Russ over at Pathless Pedals, he's over the moon over this group set or the
Mm-hmm.
all these additional options,
Mm-hmm.
right? For his what is it, Cave of Bad Ideas?
Yeah, yeah. And I believe that goes up to 9 speeds. It's not a they're not doing the arms race of gears for that group set.
Right, right. And it's supposed to be like cross compatible and all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of stuff, right? For all
Mm-hmm.
these legacy groups that are probably still out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Which brings me to another point. Is all these old farts talking about how they have Centaur da da or Chorus da da da, and it's all like 9 speed, and it's
Mm-hmm.
all like maybe 10 speed. I've had it for 20 years. I've had it. Well, that's the problem. Pony up and buy some more Campagnolo. That's why they're going out of business because no
Mm-hmm.
one's buying their shit anymore. Stop talking about something you've had for 20 years
Mm-hmm.
that you love the company so much, but you haven't bought anything from them for 20 years. How do you expect that company to stay in business if you haven't bought anything from them in 20 years?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think a lot of them will say that, well, it was affordable back then. And then now the price of Super Record is just like you said, it's gone through the roof. You're spending just as much on the group set as the frame.
More so depending on what you're building.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're retrofitting, like you've got an old frame already and you want to buy this new 13 speed Super Record wireless, blah, 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 blah,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
more than your frame is worth now.
Oh
If it's,
yeah.
if it's a frame that's only a few years old, frames, unless there's something really special about that frame, you buy a $5,000 carbon frame, it's not worth $5,000 next year.
No, no.
Yeah. So what I see is, yes, there's all this loyalty to the product, but if you haven't purchased anything, you're
Mm-hmm.
not you're not moving product out of their warehouses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then you've got the super expensive stuff, like anything else. That's at the apex. I mean,
Yeah.
how many people are going to buy that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like when you were talking about your 105 build, the group set of the people, 105. And then on the other end of the spectrum is that ultra exclusive super record that only royalty or hedge fund people are affording.
Yeah, what is it? Durian Rider made, like, what is it, the dentist or the barrister bike or whatever
Hmm.
he calls it. I can't name an Italian brand, which I don't believe in this anyway, but this is how these forums go. So I'm basically just um, telling you what I read, not so
Hmm.
much what I believe. Then
Hmm.
you have all these Italian brands. Their top spec bike is, a SRAM access bike or a,
Hmm. Or a Dura-Ace, yeah.
or a Dura-Ace bike. So they don't even spec a top end bike on their own website.
Hmm. Hmm.
I haven't looked at Pinarello in a long time, but I'm pretty sure they don't list the Campagnolo group. The
No.
the couple of episodes ago we did the Cinelli, they were listing a super record group.
Hmm.
And I also heard that the 12 speed wireless group was a flop. I guess there was a lot of stuff that could have been better.
Yeah.
So that kind of stings a little because it was so expensive to begin with, and then it didn't do very well. So they immediately came out with a 13 speed.
13.
I guess that product life cycle for the 12 speed was about that long.
Hmm. Yeah, I will say Campy definitely seems to have missed the boat with the electronic group set. And then this is, coming from somebody who rides mechanical.
Yeah.
Just the way that the industry was going, where Shimano had Di2 that was solid, SRAM had their ETAP, and their claim to fame was the interchangeable batteries. And then Campy just it was. the worst of both worlds, it seemed.
Yeah. Now I understand, that you like this stuff. I do not understand why. And I'm going to break this down just in a few simple things for me.
Hmm.
The grips are not ergo. They don't fit me at all, right?
Hmm.
I mean, I've been able to palm a basketball since I was, like in ninth grade or something, right? I'm not a big guy. I'm only 5'9", right? But so the grips just don't work for me.
Hmm.
But the thumb shifter, that
You
is
love
the,
it or you hate it. You love
oh
it or
my
you hate it.
God, that thing is the dumbest thing ever.
See,
I
I
don't
love
understand.
it. It's right there.
No, it
It's right
isn't.
there.
No, you got to move your hand to do it.
Fall to that thumb shifter, and I have to find myself moving my hand back to allow my thumb to reach the thumb shifter, which seems absolutely crazy that the thumb shifter isn't where my thumb would naturally be when riding in the hoods.
Or let me see, I haven't done it in a while. It's not a natural position when you're riding.
Hmm.
You have to do, you have to move. Yeah.
You've got gorilla paws, George. See, I have delicate finesse hands.
Jazz hands.
Yeah, jazz hands, happy hands.
I just don't, yeah, the thumb shifter is absolutely the dumbest thing. It just doesn't work. You got to move your hand to do that. It's just, and then what do you do when you're descending a mountain
Yeah,
and
when you're in the drops, then your thumb has to go way up and over.
that's what I'm saying.
It's not happening.
It
Yeah.
just doesn't make sense, right?
Hmm.
And this whole dumping of the cassette is asinine as well. I mean, that's not good shifting. So you crest the mountain or
Hmm.
hill, right? You crest, shift, and you pick it up a speed, shift, and you pick it up a speed, shift, and you pick it up a speed, and your cadence is, staying there steady at 90 cadence. Boom, boom,
Hmm.
next gear, next gear, next gear, bottom out, and then boom, you're going 40 miles per hour.
Yeah, you're just not pedaling fast enough, George, where you can just.
But that doesn't make any sense. When would you ever do that? It's just silly. It's the same thing like when I see people, they just barely crest the hill and they jam it into the big ring, and then their
Hmm.
cadence goes to 20.
Just drops. Yeah.
Why did you do that? So yeah, so those are the things I just don't understand about Campy.
Hmm.
Um, and of course, that's what you're doing all the time.
Hmm.
That is your interaction, your interface with the bike. All that other stuff, well, maybe the mechanic deals with that. Okay, yeah, like the front derailleur has like what, six positions? I don't know, like
Yeah,
six trim positions.
the earlier ones, yeah, they fixed it with some of the newer ones
Yeah.
where it's not so bad.
I mean,
But
it's like
yes, it's
click, 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 click. I'm like, oh,
yeah, it's not really indexed, it's just ratcheted.
yeah, I,
Infinite number of positions, George. Infinite number.
too much. Um, the derailleurs, they're not even long enough to take old man, old fat man gears.
Hmm. Strong legs solve problems.
They definitely do. I've always wanted to I have a saying actually that says, pedal harder,
Hmm.
you know, because that solves problems too. But you have these big um gears available.
Hmm.
You look at what is it? SRAM has like a 40,
40
48.
plus, yeah.
No, 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 no. I'm saying in the chain rings,
Hmm.
48 and like a 35 or
Hmm.
something like that. 37, I forget what it is. With a 33 in the back
Hmm.
or a 1036 in the back. That's big gearing.
Yeah, you get under that 1-to-1 ratio. Hmm.
And Campy doesn't have that.
Campy doesn't. No.
But who's buying Campy?
Yep, the people that need it.
You see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, yeah. They're
They are
shooting themselves in the
missing,
foot. Hmm.
they're missing the group. the demographics, they're missing the demographics that need what SRAM is offering.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of SRAM, but if they offer the gearing to get Mr. Smith up the hill, he's
Yeah.
got a choice here. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I can't push a 29 anymore. But what's like the
Mm-hmm.
biggest cassettes they come with? Like I think 1134 for chorus, right? Or something like that.
For it's a 32. Oh, no, no, no. The newest 13 speed does go a little bit bigger. I think 34. I think you are right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But then how small does the chain rings get?
Yeah, not I don't think it goes down to 101.
Yeah. So the most expensive group,
Mm-hmm.
who the person is not Ricky Racer, who's going to do the crit, this Sunday. The guy who can afford that group is the guy that needs the bigger than 1-to-1 ratio.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, that's why I'd hire you as my VP. This is
But
how we turn the company around.
all right, all right. Well, you know that exactly. You don't have to be the smartest. You just have to know who to hire that is smarter than you. Or be smart enough to know you need to hire people smarter than you.
Mhm.
That
Or as my CEO likes to say, let the experts be the experts.
yeah. The other issue I've had with them as a mechanic anyway is figuring out what's compatible with what, you
How
know?
so?
Well, I I think like there's I don't know, I can't remember, but there's like certain things that are just not compatible with other things like the and I can't remember what those are right now. So
Oh,
maybe
I think I know what you're saying. The in 2015, there was a change in the shifting where even though it's still 11 speed, if it's newer than 2015, those shifters are not compatible with the pre 2015 shifters.
yeah, stuff like that. Like what's
Um,
the point of that?
Yeah, and then the other thing was even in 11 speed, once you went underneath chorus, like to Centaur, Centaur
Hmm.
11 speed spacing in the cassette or in their shifting was just a little off from chorus. I mean, you can force it to work, but it's not not officially supported, I should say.
Yeah. And I guess for some people who like to know that that's what's so special about it, that it's got all these quirks and features, I guess that's appealing to some people. I just want something that works.
Hmm.
Here's the other thing. I forget which group set I was working on. I was working on this girl's bike. The spacers in between the cassette, they're different
Mm-hmm.
sizes too,
Yeah, yeah, got to keep those in order.
different widths. I'm like, why would you do that? It just,
Yeah, and then you compare this to Shimano, where you could like basically have Dura Ace shifters with what mountain bike derailleurs in the back.
or SRAM does the same
Yeah,
thing with
SRAM, you
all
can
their
do the
DI,
same
with all
thing.
their Di2 stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have a gravel group set. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
think maybe they finally did with Explorer, but before that, all you did was you took your force shifters, which are road, or your red shifters, which are road, and then
Mm-hmm.
you put on a, long cage mountain bike derailleur. They called it a mullet system, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
That's
that
exactly
made
where I was
it,
going. Yep.
what's that?
That's exactly where I was going with that. Yeah.
Yeah, you have this accessibility for people to Frankenbike their bikes, but it's all within the same
Mm-hmm.
family of products. You're not buying, some derailleur extension. What do they call that thing? Goat
The
link. You're not buying
yeah.
this or that. You're buying SRAM dedicated componentry that works with each other. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's some of the greatest stuff that they did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Their brakes have always been an issue, and with SRAM, with the latest SRAM Red, I guess they got it close to Shimano. And their front derailleur has always been a problem. That's why so many people on SRAM run a one
A
body.
single, yeah. Eliminate that problem.
Eliminate that problem. That's one way to do it. But
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't even bring up the chain. The campy chain where you have to pin it and then you pin it again from the other side. You need that special tool. It's not just push the pin in.
I, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. That isn't that fun?
But 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 why make it
Uh,
more, keep it simple, stupid?
mm-hmm,
Why make it complicated for the sake of making it complicated,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
I mean the 12 speed has the quick link now. Boom,
Yeah.
done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not any less safe,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
I mean, Shimano took a long time to go to a quick link. They were, you were driving rivets in for pins, chain pins for a long time, but eventually they went to the quick link. And man, let me tell you, when I crashed and broke my scapula and my ribs,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't on the tool, I could not snap that thing into place. The
Wow.
Shimano one. It is, I mean, even now as a healthy and able person, it's really hard to
Mm-hmm.
lock those. I mean, we can look at it a different way. What if we lose the choice of having another
Mm-hmm.
group set? Even if you don't own it, you don't ride it, it's kind of nice to know that there isn't just two group sets
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
just flavor A, flavor B. You don't get flavor C anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's a travesty as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's always nice to have that choice.
Yeah, whether you opt for it or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they seem to, I don't know if this is part of their missteps, but they're still putting out rim brake.
Well, I don't know how much of that they will put out because I mean they killed Chorus for rim
Well,
brake.
yeah. And I mean, if I was the CEO, I'd probably be killing rim brake right now. I'd be saying, look, we're probably not selling enough of these things compared to our other sales numbers. That's got to be the first to go.
Yeah, and I heard tell that Magura makes their brakes. Is that correct?
Oh, that
Their
I
disc
don't know.
brakes.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I was hoping it's Brembo, but yeah. That would explain the
No.
cost.
Yeah, not Brembo. Not Brembo. But yeah, you're CEO today, so you got to figure out how to get this thing out of the out of what do they call it? Bankruptcy court.
Yeah, I don't know. If I was the CEO, I'd probably be thankful I have my golden parachute kind of thing. Oh, yeah, it definitely kind of gallows humor with the state of Campy.
Well, and what about their wheels? I mean, what is so special about their wheels? Weren't they like $3,000 wheels when
Yeah,
everyone
their
else was
wheels are
doing?
pretty expensive. Yeah.
I
But
mean,
I think some of the pro teams they wouldn't I remember there was a few teams that wouldn't run the Campy group set, but they had the Bora wheels. So that
mhm.
made me think like, okay, either the rider is just demanding that he has Bora wheels or that they're really onto something.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know how that setup came about. Or maybe if you're out there in the comments, you know, comment on that.
Yeah, I don't know about their rim depths, their
Hmm.
rim widths, depths. They had those ceramic bearings, which I've never really put much credit into.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said earlier, if you want campy stuff, get it now. Get it now. Not only just to support them to keep them afloat, but the looks like the writing is on the wall, especially with dumping 40% of their workforce. I just don't see how you can turn it around from that point.
Well, and I'm thinking back to this Cherry Bank thing. They gave they have lost 24 million in the last 3 years, but they gave them 8.5. Like they took a risk.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
what
yeah.
what interest rate did they get that money at? because that's high risk to have been losing this much money over the last 3 years. And we're going to give you a third of that
Mm-hmm.
to launch one product.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, whoever negotiated that loan,
Oh,
he
they're
deserves to to run the company, maybe.
master negotiator. Yeah. So 24 mil, but we'll give you 8 million just to launch this one product.
Yeah, I mean that's like so 24 million across 3 years, that you're losing 8 million. So you've just broke even on your year.
Aesthetically, it's not even all that pretty.
Oh, now you're now you're way off, George.
That crankset, you think that crankset's pretty?
I I will say that it doesn't look that different from the Dura Ace. The forearm cranksets
Yeah.
all look the same,
Yeah.
but the shifters and the rear derailleur, to me, those look better. The campy ones have always looked better than the Shimano offerings.
All right. I'll have to take a look. Last time I looked, I mean, the batteries were like these
Okay, yeah,
monstrosities.
the electronic ones, yeah, let's
Well,
just
that's what I'm
stick to
talking about.
mechanical. Yeah, all the electronic ones are horrible. I mean,
Well, that's what we're talking about
we're
because
just trying to put lipstick on different pigs now.
well, no, we have to talk about the electronic ones because you're killing the rim brake groups,
Yeah.
Mr.
Oh.
CEO. So we have to talk we have to talk battery miniaturization.
Hmm.
We need to talk about, well, on this 13, can you move the batteries back and forth? Because remember, they were front derailleur only, rear derailleur
Yeah, I
only.
want to say there's still only each one is unique,
Why would you
which
do that?
I don't know. Maybe does SRAM have a patent on that, or are the Shimano ones? Is
Just,
that still
but
one big one?
Shimano was one big one, but now that
Yeah.
they've gone wireless on their mountain bike side, XTR, and their gravel side, GRX has gone wireless. So I don't know. I haven't built a bike with that stuff yet, but
Hmm.
yeah, but why be different just to be different?
Yeah. Yeah. That like I said, they missed the boat on the electronic stuff.
All right, so let's talk about your Campy personal inventory. What are you running? 10, 11 speed? What are you running?
Yeah, so I have a 9-speed triple that's been good for 20 years.
Right?
Um, and I have two 11-speed group sets. I have a Chorus 11-speed that is the newer 2015
Oh,
model.
this cable thing,
Yep.
cable pull thing. Yeah.
And then the a pre 2015 Super Record that's also 11-speed.
What are you going to put on the Ritchie?
Well, let's get that Ritchie going first. I have a 10-speed Shimano triple that's just laying around. Um, so that needs a home.
Well, you could start there.
Yeah, maybe I'll wait for Campy to completely go. It'd be too soon. Too soon.
All right. All right, John. Well, we're bringing another episode to a close. I believe this is episode 11. So, we we've we've tried to do this about every 2 weeks. Every now and then we get back-to-back weeks like today.
Hmm.
All right. Any parting shots?
No, I think you beat me up enough in this one, dude.
That's why I saved it for last. That way,
Uh,
I wore you down throughout the episode, and then boom,
yeah,
hit you with the killer blow at the end,
just like
the
Quimby
coup de
Road.
grace. What's
Just like
that?
Quimby Road. Saves the best for the end.
Actually, we need to talk about that next episode to see where you're at with that.
Hmm.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time tonight, John. Thank you
Yeah.
for your intellect to discuss some of these topics.
Thank you for having me on. Always a pleasure, George.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. And for everyone else, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Make a comment down below where you're watching from, and we will see you up the road.